Street, next on 2.
Hello, the big ridge of high pressure currently with us. It's a bit like the cake Mum makes. It's sitting on the kitchen bench, lovely frosted. Finally, the first night, 1 or 2 pieces go, and then by the end of the week, boom, it's gone. It just shrinks. That's what's going to happen to our high, but tomorrow, just little nibbles around the edges. We still have the high, a few different systems there. One thing to point out, a change next week into the weekend. Southern Ocean, turning windy from that thing there, and even cooler, if you can believe it, by the time we get to, say, Wednesday of next week. Days away, but just hinting, if maybe you're sort of planning that weekend camping trip or something like that. Weak systems nibbling around the edges of our big bit of cake. One there, one there. Still have the high, we're still fine. A few showers to the far south. And some trying to pop up, but not really doing too well. It's the big warm layer in place. Look at these temperatures, 28 Marston. Where was the top spot? Did we get to 30? Awfully close. 29 there to Blenheim, and all the way south. Look at that, 24 there for Invercargill. So the two systems sitting in place. Big mound of warm air like a big fat cake. We nibble at one side there, that system goes there, that one there, and a few little showers pop up, so it's kind of like yesterday, but the real change is, well, that one goes away, and like we saw yesterday, some of those showers trying to pop through the warm layer don't do too well, but we could see a few, maybe a rumble of thunder, western parts of the North Island, and a few to the far south, but I think for most, particularly around the beaches, it's a good looking day overall. This is much of the far north. Wind shifting a bit more east-southeast. There may be a spot of rain, perhaps in the morning across a few spots of northern Auckland, maybe I'd say with the convergence in towards perhaps the North Shore in the afternoon. But for most, you've got a fine-looking day, 26. That's how you're going to be right through the course today. Just some sun, some cloud, pretty decent day overall. And the Bay of Plenty to the Central Plateau should be fine. But remember where I said you might see some showers, perhaps popping up west in Tokoroa, Tamaranui, into the afternoon, but those very few and far between. It's a good-looking day. Hamilton, you may see those as well. And it's just the odd one. It's not one of those all-day kind of things. 27, 28, that is it. So it's another warm one, and certainly warm in places. We could be easily seeing some upper 20s. Tauranga, you've got a fine day for the outside here. Just some bubbly cloud into the afternoon. And look at the temperatures around the region. Pretty similar as well. No problems, of course, as we track our way towards the eastern parts of the North Island here. You may just see that little spot coming off the ranges by, I think, Gisborne. You're otherwise fine. Everywhere else, you're looking pretty decent as well. Track your way further west, same sort of thing. You may see some cloud bubbling up inland. Palmers to north, maybe a small chance for a shower in the afternoon. See that haze of blue, but for most, fine and dry. No problems in Wellington. You finish at 22, overall in pretty decent shape. And a similar sort of thing. The cloud will bubble up, maybe further inland. Lower Hutt, you might see that. Look at the temperature, 26, but it's a fine day. Great if you're going to be on the coast. You've got some good outdoor plans. Nelson, Blenheim, fine. Remember that low cloud we've had today, Kaikoura? You'll have that in the morning. Perhaps the same sort of thing to Westport, but all others in fine and decent shape. Morning cloud for Christchurch. It's been lurking there all day, hasn't it? 27 is your finishing temperature after you lose that cloud, and around the region. It's a morning cloud, and then your day is pretty decent overall. We track further south and further west. So what's going on? We've got high pressure. That's the morning cloud to the west coast. Same sort of thing to the east coast. Temperatures here low to middle 20s overall, and a fine looking one for Queenstown, 26 degrees overall in decent shape. Might just see the cloud bubbling up in a few spots towards the south. That's the fading front to Arno. You will see that in the morning. There isn't much on that. And maybe Alexandra, just the odd little shower, but it's a very small risk. 29 degrees to finish with you. Morning spots of rain for Milford Sound going away. Stewart Island, the leftovers go away as well. I think we're all in decent shape. And for Dunedin, that's just the morning cloud for you. 22 is where we finish, and probably a touch warmer as well. You'll see the cloud bubble ups inland, 24 for instance for Moskill, and shouldn't be too bad of course for the Chathams. That is just a spot or two of rain to creep in by the end of the day, and we've of course got high pressure which stays with us, but we just sort of nibble about the edges going into the course of Friday. Into the weekend, still have the high, and I mentioned the change. That is what it is. So over the weekend it'll turn windier eventually with that thing there, and if you can believe it, by next week we could have been talking about some cooler air, but I'm not going to talk about it too now. Just for now, it's some fine looking weather for the beach.
Let's just focus on that. Thank you very much for that, Dan. And that is One News this Wednesday. From all the One News team, Paul Marie, good night.
Welcome to the Repair Shop, where cherished family heirlooms are brought back to life.